Hey guys, Mark here. Welcome back to another PlayStation 4 video. Today we're going to mixing things up a bit and we're going to be playing Plague Inc. Evolved. Now in case you're unfamiliar with this game for some unknown reason, because it's been out for quite a few years now, the basic premise is you are a virus or a disease and your goal is to infect every single human on planet Earth and kill every single one of them. Now that might seem a bit bleak at first, but this is a very complex strategy game, and it takes some getting used to if you've never played it before, but that's what we'll be doing today. So this is the main menu screen, but that's not important. We're going to go into New Game. There are 4.5, I guess, main different game modes for this. You've got the main game, where you have all your different types of diseases and viruses to play through the game and unlock them all. You've got official scenarios, which are these, they're kind of mods, I suppose, to the original viruses that the developers themselves have made. Custom scenarios are just like original scenarios, but are made by other players. Speedrun is quite interesting. You can play against other opponents, and you'll both take the form of a virus which is trying to outcompete the other one. The tutorial is exactly what it says on the tin, it just teaches you how to play the game. For now, we're going to be going to the main game. So this is the virus we're going to be starting off with today. This one is called bacteria. Most common cause of plague, unlimited potential. Now these right here, these are genes. You can also unlock these from playing through any virus on any difficulty. And these will basically give certain advantages to your plague to help it survive better. It depends on your playstyle which one is the best for you. For the sake of anyone who's new to this game, I'm not going to be using any in this video. This is just to get you guys used to it, and because of that reason also we're going to be playing on casual. So you can name your virus anything you want. Normally the default name is PAX-12 for most of the diseases, with a couple exceptions being the more recent, the vampire disease, and the Simian flu, which is a promotional item for Dawn of the Planet of the Apes 4 years ago. But yeah, you can name it anything you want, anything within 20 characters, like you can't type in a massive long name or anything. So I'm going to go with, do you know the way? Yes, that's that inescapable meme that we all love and love or hate, depending, whatever. It's funny, right? I'm a comedian, I swear. I'm funny. Anyway, enough of that. So, let us start the game. Welcome to Plague Inc. You are a new bacteria. To win, you must evolve and spread across the world, wiping out all humans in the ultimate plague. Select start location. Select a country to begin your play. When you select it with the R2 button, you can see more information. Pop the start bubble with R2 to confirm or select another country instead. So, this is the world map. This lets you see everything that's going on with your disease. So, first of all, you have to pick a country to start off in. You want one with a good location. You want to look out for ones with airports and seaports, as those will come into more importance later. Most players, myself included, will go for places like either China or Saudi Arabia because they have both and they have a pretty good population. One thing to take into account, Greenland is a bitch to infect. It has only one seaport, and if it closes that, you are done. You're finished. Unless you're playing as the fungus or Nurex worm, there is a way around it. The base idea is, to start off with, you want no one to know your disease even exists. I'm going to be starting my disease off in Saudi Arabia. Boom. Dewey begins in Saudi Arabia. Dewey has infected its first human. Weak but used to hot temperatures, it must evolve using DNA points to infect more people. You want to pop these bubbles whenever they come up, and they will come up every now and then. And you see this little number down here, those are your DNA points. Those will add up over time or by popping little bubbles. Sometimes you'll get these little news icons. Not all of them are important or indeed relevant, like this one has nothing to do with what it is we're doing. Tip, pop orange bubbles to get DNA points. Pop orange bubbles with R2 when they randomly appear to get bonus DNA points, which you can use to evolve your disease. So this game treats every playthrough like it's your first. Now that might be a bit annoying to some of us that have played the game 1,000 times over, but for the new guys it would actually be quite helpful, so I personally am glad it's there, even though I know what I'm doing at this point. Dewey is spreading from person to person in Saudi Arabia and will grow exponentially. You control the plague indirectly by evolving it. So, let's go ahead and start with that. We're going to press the square button. Now, this is where it gets interesting. We have 4 tabs here. Overview, which does fuck all. We've got transmissions, symptoms, and abilities. Take note that you have DNA points as you progress through the game. Currently, I have 10. You can use these to evolve any of these 3 things. Abilities help you survive, like you have things like drug resistance, cold resistance, and some abilities are unique to different viruses. We've got transmission, which will mean that your disease will spread quicker and easier, which will make it much easier to infect the rest of the world. Symptoms is quite interesting. This is how you actually kill off people, but one very important thing I have to stress, you do not want to so much as touch these until later in the game, because once you evolve enough of these, then humanity will eventually find out that your plague exists and they will try to cure it. You do not want that to happen, because if they manage to finish the cure, you've instant loss, so never let that happen. You want to focus on transmission to start off with, and slightly later down the line we'll go on to abilities. So, enough jargon, let's just go ahead and evolve one of our transmissions. So we've got insects, rodent, livestock, we can't afford bird at the moment, blood, and we have water and air, which are probably the 2 most important here. You'll notice on the minimap, if we go back to it, you'll have loads of planes and boats flying about the place. Now, these air and water will actually allow you to use those to your advantage. So air allows you to affect people on planes, so any plane marked in red means that there's an infected passenger on board. So we're going to go ahead and get water, which will do that for boats. So now we will occasionally get a red boat, and that will go and infect another country. Hoping this makes sense. Now this is quite a hyper-realistic game, and it does do a good job at simulating how the world would probably react in an epidemic such as this. So keep that in mind. You gotta think to yourself, if this were to happen in real life, what would actually happen? So disease is slowly spreading. You might see there are some red dots just scattered around on the country. Every red dot you see there is an infected individual. Country information, blah blah blah. You can pause those and read if you want to. Down here it'll actually show you how many people are infected or dead. Dewey infects hundreds. Dewey has infected hundreds in Saudi Arabia, increasing the chances that an infected person will I nearly said inflict them. I cannot read today. Infect a healthy person. Keep evolving your disease. Now our points are built up quite a bit, so I'm going to head and evolve another one. Now we can hold on a little more and get water too, which will basically just up the chances for the whole boat thing. Or we can go air, in which case we can also infect planes. You want to get both of these. These are probably the 2 most important transmission things you can get. Bear in mind that transmission is the only thing we want to focus on at the moment. Dewey spreads to East Africa. Here we go, this is important. East Africa has been infected. Your disease has taken an important step in becoming a plague. When a new country is infected, pop the red bubble with R2 to get bonus DNA. Those red bubbles will pop up every time you infect a new country. And of course, orange ones just appear randomly every now and then. Now we've got a lot more DNA points. Dewey infecting thousands. Now watch this, watch this. You see that red plane? Just landed in the UK. That means someone in the UK is about to get infected. There we go. So, if we press the triangle button, it will actually show us which countries are infected, or clean, or the entire population is dead. It will also show you the cure progress. Now we'll get into that a bit later, as it will eventually happen. But all we have to focus now is infecting every one of these countries, so we have the best chance of infecting everyone in the world. So currently we only have 5 countries infected, but that will soon change as we evolve our symptoms some more. Dway infecting more countries. Dway is infecting more countries. Control where it goes by evolving transmission traits in the disease menu. Like I said, it walks you through it. Some nice, some good old video game hand-holding, just to make sure you are absolutely positive that you know what you're doing. So we're going to go ahead and get water too, as there are some of these countries that do have a seaport, but not an airport. Prime example here being Greenland, and a lot of these northern ones up here now that I think of it. Medicine in UK slowing infection. The UK is a wealthy country with high quality healthcare. To spread faster, you may need to evolve the drug resistant ability. Thank you, game. Now, this is one of your abilities. Drug resistance basically means that some of the richer countries like the UK and America, you'll basically be slightly more effective in there. So whenever that little thing pops up, you want to go ahead and get this. We'll get to genetic hardening in a bit. That'll come in more important when humanity tries to cure your disease. Yes, right. So quite a few countries are getting more infected. You can see a lot more red on the map. So this is good. This is good. You just want to contribute into all your infectivity and all that for now. You don't need to worry about much else at this early stage of the game. There's a lot of different phases. It's like chess. You gotta think a lot. And if you guys know me, I'm not too good at that, alright? But I've played this game for a couple months on the laptop, you know, before it died and became a potato. Now we're going to go ahead and get Air 2. We might start looking into these other ones, but we'll get to that later. Another thing I love, in case you're unaware, Jacksepticeye, I'm sure you've all heard of him by now. He has also done Let's Play on Plague Inc. Evolved quite a while ago. Now, he has an excellent point here. Me and him both have the tendency to start in Saudi Arabia. And not only is it just good for spreading the place around, but it looks incredibly satisfying because they all just jut out. I don't know, it's just really pleasing to look at when it all shoots out from the kind of middle-y section and it kind of looks like a spider web. He explains it a bit better than I do in his content, so if you enjoy Jacksepticeye and you also end up enjoying this video and by extension the game, I'd highly recommend going and watching his Let's Play on it. He's also done a bit on custom scenarios. I'm not sure if I'll be getting to those. I might later down the line if like the series keeps going for long enough, which is only determined by your support. Did they really put Brexit in this game? This is why we play video games, to get away from politics. Jeez, right. We're going to go ahead and get insects. Keep in mind, you want to read the description for all of these just to make sure you know what you're doing. This one increases infectivity in hot climates, but it also infects chances of mutation. Now what that means, this affects symptoms only. Sometimes it will evolve one of these symptoms automatically for you. In this disease, however, that's not an issue, as you can simply devolve it manually and you'll get 2 DNA points back. This is important though, because on some diseases it will actually cost you DNA points to turn them off, especially for ones like the virus and the simian flu, so you want to keep that in mind when trying to evolve your mutation. I didn't actually do it, I'm an idiot. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and get that. So it's going to increase infectivity, but it will also mean that one of our symptoms might just turn on without us having to do anything. You don't want that to happen too soon though. Like I said, you want to remain invisible. Right there, the insomnia symptom has just developed on its own. At the beginning you want to keep a low profile, so we're going to go ahead, get rid of that, and get 2 points back. I'll say it again, on some diseases you'll actually have to put more points into it to turn it off. So you're going to have to adjust your playstyle for certain diseases that have that effect. So we're affecting a lot of countries now. Look at all this red. It is glorious. Yes, and we're just racking up these DNA points as well. Let's check. Right, we've only got Greenland, Swinland, Finland, and Morocco to infect. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and evolve cold resistance, which should mean that it has a better chance in cold countries like Greenland. I'm also going to go ahead and get genetic hardening, but that'll come more important later, so you don't have to do that bit for now if you're actually playing this while watching this. We've pretty much infected half the population of the world at this point. There we go, that was one of them gone. Was that? Yep, it's Finland. We've just got a few more countries to go. We can actually speed this up by using the buttons on the left side of your controller, so go ahead and do that if you want to. If you've only got a few countries left to infect, it shouldn't be much of an issue. The only real downside to that is you don't have nearly as much time to pop the bubbles. So I'd recommend slowing it down if a lot of bubbles are popping up. Rash, we want to get rid of that too, so go ahead and do that. Look how many points we have, bloody hell. Right, pretty sure that's all the countries. I'm going to wait a little longer so that more people get infected, and then I'm going to make my move and strike them hard and fast with the symptoms. Dwayne needs to evolve to kill. Dwayne has infected most of the world. In order to kill people, you must evolve lethal advanced symptoms using DNA points. We'll get to that in a bit. Assists. Right. Since we're very close to, like, the second phase, I call it, I'm just gonna leave that alone. So that will... See, now they've actually found the disease. In a normal checkup, a doctor in Korea found a new disease which has been named Dwayne. It appears to be mostly harmless, but must be investigated further. Other countries are also reporting this disease. So now they know our disease exists, and pretty soon this little bar here will start filling up as they try to cure it. You can see Greenland's getting more and more infected, so I think now is a good time to get to the symptoms. So the ones we currently have is cysts and insomnia. Now, you want to read the description for these as well, because some of them have different effects that it doesn't actually tell you with the 3 bars at the bottom. Some of them do actually increase infectivity, like coughing and sneezing, which we'll get to sooner. Some of them will increase severity, meaning it's more noticeable, and humanity will try to cure it quicker, and it'll become more urgent for them. And then lethality will start killing people. I'm going to go ahead and get paranoia, as the description tells me that it makes them less likely to seek treatment from others, and they don't trust people. So in my mind, when I think that, that's probably going to mean that they don't want to be cured. No, it doesn't directly say that. You're going to have to think that part up on your own, but like I said, you want to think what would actually happen in real life in this instance. Right, it's skyrocketing up now, so we want to evolve our more severe symptoms. So we're going to go ahead and get coughing, sneezing, immune suppression, which has already bumped up our lethality. This one is the one you're always going to try and get to, total organ failure. Catastrophic cell death of multiple tissue types cause body-wide organ failure and rapid death. Boom. That one is very expensive, and for good reason. That will also directly lead to coma. It only slightly bumps up lethality, but it means that they need more time to develop a cure, so that will help you a lot. So go ahead and get that one as well. Now that should be all the symptoms we need for now. It's a bit difficult to tell you exactly what you need to do, because every case is going to be different with this game. But if you play it enough times, I'm sure you'll eventually get the hang of it. New Zealand shuts down airport. Ah, too late. You've already got it, suckers. First death in the Caribbean. First death from Dewey has been confirmed in Caribbean. It should say the Caribbean, idiots. Bad luck, or the beginning of something terrible. Ooh. Tip, fight the cure. There are 2 ways to fight development of the cure. Evolve aggressive symptoms to destroy countries, more noticeable, or evolve cure resistances. Now, we want to go back to genetic hardening. This basically slows down any research into the cure that it'll slow them down when they're trying to cure it. That's why I got it earlier. There is a second phase, but I'd recommend doing that when it gets to 25%. You can also do genetic reshuffle, which will just move the bar a tiny bit backwards. It's a bit difficult to explain with words, but it'll make sense in a bit, trust me. So I want to keep going. Global research focus on cure. I'm sure it is. I'm killing a lot of people. Fever, that's a good one. Let me check that. Yeah, that one bumped up the lethality quite a bit. So you probably want to get things like Insect 1 into the symptom stage if you haven't already, because it's quite good for when you're actually trying to kill people off. Because it might actually evolve the symptoms you're after, like total organ failure. So I'd recommend doing that. There we go! There are no healthy people left in the world. Sick. Now we just sit back and watch the humans die. Look at that black bar going. That black bar symbolizes how many people are dead. The cure is 25% complete. Don't worry, I've got a trick for that. We're going to get genetic hardening and genetic reshuffle 1. We can also evolve into more of our symptoms. There's another one I already have my eye on, insanity. That will make it much harder to cure. So go ahead and get that too if you can afford it. Now, take a seat, get a nice cold glass of Coca-Cola, sit back and watch the humans suffer. Dewey has destroyed the world despite the world's best efforts. The last few humans lie dying in holes with no chance of survival. Victory! Dewey has successfully eliminated all life on Earth. There we go. There we go. So, we just killed everyone. How are you doing? So, it'll play you a little replay of your progress afterwards. I'm just going to play it fairly slowly actually, so I have time to speak. It'll tell you your score and how well you did, how long it took to actually kill people. Mine took almost 2 years actually, judging from my calculations. Yeah, that'd be just under 2 years, that would be. You can also view a graph. I normally just don't bother with that. And yeah, so that's basically all you need to know about the game. The following new gene type has been discovered and unlocked, Aerocyte. Now I've wanted that one for a while. So that is basically Plague Inc. Evolved in a nutshell. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this first video, and if you did, leave some likes on the video, this one that you're watching right now, to let me know that you want more of Plague Inc. Evolved, and I will make it into a fully fledged series for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're looking forward to the series, and if you are, leave some likes, absolutely bomb the video with likes to let me know that you want this to happen. Do not hesitate to leave dislikes, because then I know you guys don't want this, and I'll make less of it, or I'll make some tweaks to it so you guys enjoy it more. Yada yada yada. I've said this so many times by now. Please subscribe to the channel if you want to watch more content like this. We are so close to 50 subscribers. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.